Breakfast with your Coys. Oh yeah. Breakfast with pure Coys. Breakfast with pure Coys. Oh yeah. Breakfast with pure Coys. Breakfast with pure Coys.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you all. A bit of a change around today. I turned my setup around, so I've literally not got a space to fit a mouse in, which it has been for months, just with my back to the wall. Bit of a nightmare getting in and out, so I thought I'd just turn it around. So I've done that. So I got a bit more space. I can move around, which is lovely. How you guys doing on this lovely Monday morning here in the West Country? It is a beautiful day. The sun is out, and we are still here. We are still here. The old, I don't know whether any of you have been following it, but I am hooked on it. This old Atlas thing, this old big comet that's heading like out towards or going through our solar system, and everyone's panicking. Is it an alien? It could be. It could be. I'm hooked on it, and apparently it went past Mars yesterday. So I've been reading up on that and looking at YouTube bits and bobs, guys. Thank you for joining me on this Monday morning. I feel a bit more normal now. I've tried the late night with Pure Coys. I've tried the afternoon, evening with Pure Coys. Hasn't really worked. Hadn't really felt. It's all good fun. Hasn't really felt as breakfasty as it should. So I'm back with the breakfast show. Obviously, international break. So when I'm going to get on over the next couple of weeks, I don't know. But I'm here today. We're going to talk about the game Saturday. We're going to talk about the good things, the bad things, and we're going to talk about the keeper situation. Of course, let's see who's in this morning. Let's see who's in, guys. Barbaric is in, as always, saying good morning, Nige. I want to see Kinsky have a run of games. Not only did he flap on the goal, he did it again in the second half where Doggy had to make a diving header for the corner. Listen, Vicario's a weird one for me. It's a mixed bag, I think, on Saturday for Vicario. I think in the first 10 minutes, he came for a cross that who was never going to get near. Got totally crowded out, and I think Rodon hit the post with a header. Terrible keeping that. Think he could have done better for the goal. But again, it did take a wicked deflection. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Guys, let me know what you think. Second half, he did pull off a couple of good saves. But I am still very concerned about Vicario. I'm not going to lie. I'm still very concerned about Vicario. And Barbaric saying, I hope you're well, young sir. Please smash a like and sub on the channel, please. It really helps push the content out there. It does. It is so important. It is so important that that like button is pressed, whether there's 5 of you in the room or 55 of you in the room. It is so important, more than anything else, that that like button is pressed. Anything over 50 likes gets you out there a bit more. So if you're watching this live, please press the like button. If you're watching it on catch up and you've got this far in, please smash that like button. It is so important, and it really would help me. And then Barbaric is saying, I did read that we are looking for a goalkeeper, left wing, and striker for the January window. I do hope it's true. I hope it's true as well, mate. I really do. Interesting. Yeah, I think apparently we are talking to Ivan Toney about him possibly coming in January. Let me know what you think about that, guys. Ivan Toney, would you take him? Surely he's better than anything we've got. I will take him hands down. Yeah, lots of talk about possible players coming in. Exciting times, I think, at Spurs. We will see what happens. Shem Tem is in. Big up, Shem. Hope you're well. Good morning, Nige. Hope you're good today. I'm very good. I am very good. Yeah, guys, yeah. If you're in here, if you're watching, I am just started another YouTube channel. Just set it up last night, really. And it is Nige versus the oven. My job is an oven cleaner. And I thought I would take a camera around and start doing these before and after things. Well, before, during, and after. So if you're interested in these before and after things, I was hooked on watching a gardening thing last night on YouTube, just watching people with messy gardens and people going in, cleaning them up and watching the result afterwards. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, if that kind of thing floats your boat, get over to my new channel, Nige versus the Oven. Subscribe to it. Not a lot on there at the moment, next to nothing, in fact. But I have got 3 oven cleans today, so hopefully I'm going to be recording at least one of them. Yeah, any subs would be much appreciated. Finn is in the house saying, "Morning, Nige. Vicario is a great shot stopper, but his positional awareness for set pieces and crosses can be shocking at times. Wouldn't say no to Sales or Martinez in January." I kind of agree. I've got to be honest. I think even his shot stopping just recently is questionable. You know, shots that he should save comfortably, he's spilling, he's palming out into the wrong area. I don't know whether it's a confidence thing with Vicario or whether he's just not as good as we first thought. I think at times he pulls off great saves in the second half, good save with his feet. I do think any keeper should save that at Premier League level. But again, I think Bob Barrett's right. There was a chance in the second half which Vicario made a decent save from, and he celebrated when he got up. He's like, "Yes!" And not Odebert, Udogie had to head it out for a corner. I actually think again, palm it to safety. You palmed it back into trouble. But maybe I'm just being harsh. Maybe I've got the mindset now that I'm not really keen on Vicario, so anything he does is bad. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Kate Rickson, big up, Kate. Said, "Nige, I like the breakfast show. Hope you're well. I hope you're well too, Kate. I'm very good. Yeah. Like I say, I tried the late night thing, trying to get not a different crowd, but maybe some new people in, and didn't really go down. So I'm just going to stick with the breakfast thing, I think. And I enjoy it. It gives me something to do first thing before I go to work. And yeah, I much prefer it, to be honest. Tottenham Ranger, big up Tottenham Ranger. Hope you're well, mate. Say Vicario flat at another corner. I thought that was Ange's fault. It could be. It could be Ange's fault. It could be Ange's fault. Tottenham Ranger, come on. Come on. Strange. Um, yeah, yeah. Listen, Ange is gone. Ange isn't the manager anymore. Forest have to deal with him, but Ange is a really good manager. You know, not no winning 7 for Forest, but he is a really good manager. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. I think Ange would be gone by today or tomorrow from Forest. Don't you? Don't you? Tottenham Ranger, we are going to talk about Tell in a bit as well. So stay tuned because I got positive things to say about that guy. Um, Let me know what you think, guys. Kate Rickson said, "Nice morning, lovely." Again, good morning. Good morning. Glad you're in. Cookie is up and about. Morning all. Hope all is good. Good morning, Cookie. I hope you're well, mate. I will give you a text later, buddy. And Kate said, "Nige, I wanted Tony rather than Solanke." Yeah, I'd quite fancy Tony coming in. I've got to be honest. I think he's a better Premier League striker. And his penalties are awesome, aren't they? He just doesn't miss penalties. So if we get penalties, we will be fine. Barbaric saying, "I read that too, Nige. Apparently, Thomas Frank spoke to Tony personally for a January loan move. Never sure how much is true on social media nowadays or not. I agree. I agree. You never know what's true and what's not. But apparently, he has spoken to him. Was there another team interested in Tony as well? I'm pretty certain I read another side were interested. It wasn't Arsenal, was it? It was somebody anyway. But yeah, hopefully we get him on loan would be a good move. I think we have one more loan deal that we can do. So let's get it done. Let's get it done. And Bob Barrett is saying, "Good morning to Cookie, you young whippersnapper." Paul is in the house. Good morning, Paul. Hope you're well, mate. He says, "Good morning for me. We might need to replace both of them. A world-class goalkeeper and also a great number 2 for being in between the sticks." Interesting. Interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I like Kinsky. I've got to be honest. And apparently he is rated in his home nation as the next Petr Cech. So big, they got big hopes for him at his nation. So I like him. I think he is very good on the ball. I think he's a decent shot stopper. I don't think he's the best. He's certainly not the worst. And The only thing with him is I think sometimes he's a little bit too casual on the ball. Needs to improve that, but otherwise I like him. I like Kinsky a lot. Chucky saying good morning to Barbaric. And Andrew Gregory's in the house. Good morning, Nige. Good morning, Andrew. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you're well. And Barbaric saying breakfast is not the same without Nige and the 2 marks. No, no, needed to come back for breakfast because doing like I say, the evenings, the late nights and the afternoons just didn't cut it. Don't get me wrong, there will be times when I do pop up with an odd evening or afternoon show, but mostly it will be the breakfast show. I'm not sure whether the 2 marks are on this week. I know that Sheriff's working, but hopefully we will see them at some point. Barbaric saying Chelsea are interested in Tony apparently. Okay, it's Chelsea. And Barbaric then said, I mean, who aren't Chelsea interested in? Absolutely. They are interested in absolutely everyone. And yeah, we will see. We will see, I guess. Guys, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. Of course, this is it. Leeds 1, Spurs 2. Great result. We finally break that hoodoo of losing before every international break. Big thing, I think, of Spurs is back because it was starting to get annoying. It was starting to get frustrating. The press were talking about it. Everyone was talking about how Spurs were really poor before the national break. So for me, so important to get that monkey off our back. We've done that. And I think it's a really, really good performance at the weekend. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that we rode our luck, that we were lucky, that we were poor. I thought we played bloody well. I thought we played really well. You know, Leeds have hardly lost over the last year. In fact, I don't think they've lost in a year at home. And Spurs rock up, little old Spursy Spurs, and we turn them over and we play decent. You know, we're not going. Every game is not going to be swashbuckling football with great interchanging passing. But what I saw was a side that pulled the socks up, that rolled up their sleeves, that dug in when they needed to, that gave everything. Sure, we still made mistakes. There was times in that first half when we tried to play out from the back. But I remember Bentancur giving a chance away. There's room for improvement, of course. But what I saw on Saturday lunchtime was a side that were playing for each other. And little moments. There was a couple of things that Xavi Simons did. There was a ball through when he played it through to, I think it was Odebeau, crossed it in for Tao to hit the bar. Really unlucky, nice move. There was another move in the second half, great bit of interchanging, and I think Kudus was involved. And Xavi Simons just dinked the ball over to Porro. And Porro in that position, you'd expect him to put a ball in the box. He miskicked it, it went out. But little bits that I thought, wow, okay, things are starting to happen. And you know what? I'm not against Spurs rolling their sleeves up, getting their foot in, sticking some tackles in, and riding our luck at times. To win Premier League games, you are going to have to ride your luck at times. It's not going to be all sweetness and roses every single game. Tottenham Rangers saying, I think Frank took the attackers off too early. We certainly did start sitting back the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes even. I think we started to get deeper and deeper and deeper. But I think that's natural. I think it's maybe subconscious, the fact that we cannot get a win over the line before an international break. So I think maybe subconsciously, and Frank said it himself, one of the reasons he was so pleased and there was such celebrations after the game, not only obviously because it was a good win, and Frank said they drew a couple, so they really wanted to get back with a win, but he wanted to end that hoodoo. He wanted to get that off their back. They've done that. So I think it's natural. And actually, I like the fact that we dug in those last 15 minutes. And sure, we rode our luck a little bit. Vicario had to make a couple of saves, but I think that's natural. A home side, 2-1 down, they're going to come at you. We're going to have to take a bit of flack. And I thought Tottenham dealt with it pretty well. Tottenham Rangers saying we invited pressure, could have conceded. We could have, but we didn't. But we didn't. And I think that's the point. And you say, yeah, good 3 points. And I think that's what it is. I thought it was a really good 3 points. Barbaric saying, what's irritating? Some of our fan base are screaming, we're in a false position. instead of saying, "Well done, not playing well, but grinding out results." Bang on, bang on. There's always a negative way to look at things. Just like there's always a positive way to look at things, there's always a negative way to look at things. And Spurs being in a fourth position, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're third in the league. We are one defeat in 10, one defeat in 11 if we want to count the Paris Saint-Germain. You know, we haven't lost in 7. It's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent start from a manager who is renowned for starting slowly. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the way we started. I'm happy with the way we're playing. It's not going to happen overnight, and yeah, I'm really pleased. And Tottenham Ranger saying we are in a fourth position. We should be clear first. Um, Listen, we're doing okay. If you look at the games we played, yes, there's some good wins. There's that defeat against Bournemouth, which was really disappointing, and there's some frustrating draws. But games that we maybe didn't deserve to get anything out of, like Wolves at home, certainly didn't deserve to get anything out of that game, but we did. And we got to take that as a positive. Tottenham Hotspur saying, if we beat Wolves like we should have, yeah, we should have beat. Well, on paper we should have beat Wolves, but actually the performance would show otherwise. I thought second half we were woeful, but I think that's going to happen sometimes. You got to remember we are we are going through a transition now. There's no doubt it's a new manager, a new rebuild, and I know people hate the word rebuild, but effectively we are because we got a totally new system, a totally new way of playing, a way that Frank likes to set teams up. One thing I really did love about the Leeds game is how we had 2 banks of 4. Every time Leeds come forward, 2 banks of 4. Really like that. We are going to concede goals this season. Let's not make any bones about it. We're going to concede goals. We are not there yet, but um, I'm seeing positive signs, green shoots that tell me that actually maybe good things are happening at Spurs. Ghosted saying a big up, Nige. Big up, Ghosted. Hope you're well, mate. And Rich C. Big up, Rich. Hope you're well, buddy. Saying Xavi in the 10 is exciting. I would have liked Thomas Frank to play wing backs and 3 at the back, but to properly free Xavi. But hopefully that will come. I love Frank though. I agree, mate. I agree. I think once I mean, this is the thing. We're still short, aren't we? We're still short in players. If we play 3 at the back, we haven't really got anyone to bring on if we get an injury to a defensive player. Daddy Davis, I guess, but that's kind of where we are. We're still a centre back short. And yeah, there's still areas of the pitch that we can improve. And the trouble is, if we go to 3 at the back, then where do we play Kudus? It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. And Kudus for me, wow, what a performance from Kudus. I thought he was magnificent. When that ball goes up to him, it just sticks like glue. No team can get the ball off him unless they foul him. I love Kudus. Never realised he was this good before he signed for Spurs. I saw his flair, obviously bits at Ajax and bits at West Ham, and I saw, yeah, he's a good player. He runs at players. He's exciting. But I never saw what he does for the team, holding the ball up. And I had this conversation with my son on Saturday. I want to say Saturday. I think I did a show Saturday night with Charlie. And we were talking about, well, I brought up a conversation about Salah and how I think he's starting. I'm not saying he's bad, by the way, starting to just go over the edge and start to dip a little bit. His form is starting to dip. He's not the player he was last season. He's getting older. And I made the conversation piece. Who would you rather have now as a Tottenham fan? Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Salah now or Kudus now? And I just said the position we're in and the players that we have, I'd rather a Kudus just because, and maybe I'm crazy, just because the ball sticks to him. I think we need that player up there that when we get the ball, it just sticks because everyone else, it just bounces off. Probably crazy, but I love Kudus. Tottenham Rangers saying we've had a pretty easy run in the Premier and Champions League. We should be first. So yes, we're in a fourth position. I'm not sure I agree with that, but I would suggest Man City away was pretty tough. But I get your point. We have had a favourable run in the Premier League so far. Cookie saying, when you're getting points and not playing particularly well on the eye, is a good sign, don't you think? I believe there was a team called the Gooners who used to play that regularly years ago. Used to do that regularly years ago. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sign of a good side is when you're picking up results and you're not particularly playing well. But what's not playing well? What's not playing well? I remember last season, at times we were playing awful. That run in Europa League, I can't remember Spurs playing a good game. I can't remember Tottenham being fantastic in any game at all. But we won the Europa League. So who cares? Doesn't matter. It's all about the result at the end of the day. The football will come, I'm sure. I'm very confident about that. Andrew Gregory said, let's see where we are at the end of November, Nige. This is true. We got a massive, massive November ahead. Lots of tough games. Lots of tough games. And Wan said, hi, Nige. Hope you're well. Big up, Wan. Hope you're good, mate. Just tuned in. What's the topic today? Good win for Spurs. We're going to be better when the likes of Solanke, Kulu, Kolo Muani back in most of the team. Not consistent so far. Even Liverpool. You're absolutely bang on. People forgetting this. People forgetting this. Kulusevski, Maddison, Muani, Solanke. 4 players in our front area, all out injured. You know, imagine if we have 2 of them back. Suddenly our attacking flair looks a lot better. We have what we have at the moment in those forward areas. In those forward areas, the likes of Odegaard, who for me, I'm really glad he's getting game time, by the way, because I hope that he can improve and I hope there's a player in there somewhere. But for me, he's not ready yet. Not really. And Tal, who I know Tottenham Ranger loves. And listen, I was so pleased for him yesterday that he scored that goal. So pleased. And I thought he did okay. He did okay. Let's hope he gets confidence from that. But let's be honest, and I think Tao will be the first to admit it. You know, he's not our first choice. So there's lots to come from Spurs yet. And I'm really confident. And Liverpool, yeah, they've lost 3 in a row now. So I don't think any team are absolutely flying. Absolutely flying. Tottenham Rangers saying it's not a transition, no, Nige. It's not a transition, no, is it, Nige? Um, no, of course not. We've not lost any players. Well, we've lost Sonny. You know, that's quite a big player to lose at your side, your captain. Um, Admittedly, he wasn't the same player he was, but we have lost players because we've lost Sonny. Madison's out for the season. Kulu's still out. All players that were fit under Ange last season for a lot of the time. So, you know, and yeah, we've gained 4 first teamers, we have, but kudos for Sonny, Xavi for Maddison, you know. So what have we got? We've got in Polinia, which is a fantastic signing, and Mawani, who's been injured since he come in. So I think we need to just calm ourselves a little bit and think to ourselves, let's see how we do. It's been a really good start to the season. I don't think anyone can complain about the start we've had. Let's see how we do going forward. Get some of those injuries back, maybe get into the transfer market in January and bring a couple of players in. And Tottenham Rangers says it's not a rebuild, it's all at all, it's building on what we have already. Yes, I don't mean it's a rebuild as in we've got a crap squad. I mean as in we've got a new manager, we've got new tactics. So in that sense, it's not gonna happen overnight, if you get what I mean. And Tottenham Rangers saying, which was European champions? Absolutely, we were. We were. And he's saying, I'm happy so far. Just think the performance could have been better. Yeah, I think, you know, performances could have been better, but I think it is a learning curve. I think, like I say, we're not gonna be hitting the ground running straight away. It is gonna be a work in progress. Guys, if you haven't smashed that like, smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Barbaric saying at Tottenham Rangers, we finished 17th last season. Do you think we should be world beaters now? This is the thing. We did finish 17th last season. So the fact we're now 3rd, I think we've got to take it, haven't we? That's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Listen, do I think we're going to finish 3rd? No way. I'm still saying 6th or 7th. I think it'll be a decent season for Tottenham. Get back into the Europa League, or the conference. And I think we build from now. Anyone thinking we should be finishing top 3 or 4 are I'm sorry, I just don't get it. I just don't see it after last season. Ghost is saying that Ranger is not a rebuild, but it's definitely a refresh. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tottenham Rangers saying we finished 17th for a reason. We rested players for the Europa 3 months straight. I don't believe that for a minute, but okay. Our squad is not 17th. It's not, which is concerning why we finished 17th last season. And Tottenham Rangers said, as much as you want to tell me we're 17th team, we are not. No, but we were not. We were not a 17th team last season. And that's the thing. That's why so many fans are frustrated. You know, the narrative is that we chucked the league last season. I don't believe that any player or Ange wanted to lose every game last season. I don't believe it. I'm not having it. I think we played strong teams all the way through the league. We just were not up to it, you know. And let's be honest, the Europa League is pretty weak. We got lucky all the way through. We got good draws. Frankfurt, I would say, was the only really tough draw. And then we faced United in the final. We'd already beaten 3 times this season. And it was an awful game, let's be honest. And if we're going to be honest, we were quite lucky in the final because we got away with it. We got the goal early, which was one of the greatest goals I've ever seen in cup final history, and then defended for our lives. But we did it. I don't think we can look past the fact we finished 17th. I don't think we can use the excuse of, we chucked the league. That don't wash with me at all. But it is what it is. This is a new season under a new manager. I think we got to look forward now and try to stop looking back. Ghost is saying, I think Frank has done a top job. Wolves got a draw out of Brighton yesterday as well. And we've only lost to Bournemouth, who are exactly the same as us in the table. Exactly. And Bournemouth are a decent side. People forgetting that, Bournemouth, people just think of Bournemouth because, little old Bournemouth, tiny stadium. Um, they are a decent team, Bournemouth. And they outclassed us, let's be honest. But about saying, oh, you're one of those supporters, I'll leave you to argue with yourself. And Tottenham Ranger coming in hard. But you do admit, Frank's doing all right. Absolutely. Absolutely. He is doing all right. Hope we pick up performances. I'm absolutely positive performances will come. I really do. While we are picking up results, I'm sure performances will come. Finn saying, just imagine in a transfer window, not so far away, we could have had Grealish on the left alongside Kudus on the right. Yeah, Grealish got the winner for Everton yesterday. Would love to have Grealish in our side now, but it is what it is. We haven't got him. We've got to go with what we've got. And going with what we've got, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Tottenham Rangers saying Barbaric Disdain thinks we're the 17th best team in the league. Well, we were last season. Yeah, it is. And Barbaric saying that Finn, our fan base didn't want Grealish as he was washed. This is true as well. This is true. Uh, Finn saying, I know, madness. Ghosty said, hopefully we get some top signings in January and we're still in around it coming towards the end of the season. Absolutely, guys. So here's a question. We might as well talk about it. It is on the thumbnail. Vicario or Kinsky? Let's get into it. Is it time for Kinsky to start? Is it time to, I don't know, rest Vicario, chuck him out of the side? It's not going to happen, I don't think, because he's part of the leadership group. But going forward, are we looking at Kinsky or would you buy a new keeper totally? And if you would buy a new keeper, who would you like? Who would you like in goal for Spurs? Um, I think it's quite glaringly obvious at the moment that Vicario, though he's a good shot stopper, is a major, major problem in our defence. Major problem. But I'm not sure. Let's see what happens. Ghost is saying, I'm hearing people say we will own the 2026 transfer market. I'm here for it, but I believe it when I see it. Yeah, I'm the same, mate. I will believe it when I see it. Let's see what happens. Barbaric said, no matter how we feel, I do think Frank will want another goalkeeper. He likes someone who is good with their feet. I agree. My son's in. Big up, Charlie. Morning all. We are so massive. Great start to the Frank era. Hard to disagree. We are massive, of course. And I think Frank is doing fantastic. Barbaric saying good morning to Charlie, and Charlie saying good morning back. Cookie saying, spot on, Nige. We've got what we've got and we have to get on with it. Let's see what Enoch could do in January and next summer. For me, it's on them now to improve the first team and squad so we push on. Agreed. 100%, mate. 100%. Why did Tottenham Ranger get blocked? I have no idea. I have no idea. I've got no control. Well, I have got control of blocking, but listen, my multitasking skills are not good. And Barbaric saying he's not blocked. Um, Ghost is saying Barbaric saying, oh, he's just in a timeout. I didn't realise he was in a timeout, but hopefully he'll be out of it soon, guys. It's not timeout people for the sake of it, just because he got different opinions, unless they're being dicks. But I think Tottenham Rangers all right, isn't he? I don't know. Barbaric saying, keep smashing the likes and sub if you haven't already. Get over to the 2 Mark show and do the same. Absolutely. And Barbaric saying, Ghost is just a small timeout. Barbaric being absolutely brutal with the timeouts today. Ghost is saying, I hear it, Nige. I don't buy that we had to rest players for AZ, Frankfurt, Bodo, and United, who we beat 4 times last year. That's exactly it. It's not like we're playing Barcelona or Real Madrid. We shouldn't have needed to rest players. Agreed, agreed, agreed. And Ghost is saying Barbaric, he's a good guy normally. I know he gets a little mad over Ange, but he's a good stuff normally. Yeah, I like Tottenham Ranger. He's all right. He gets passionate, and that's what we want. As Spurs fans, we're all passionate. And I think he's starting to slowly realise that Ange's a bit rubbish, isn't he? Forest fans certainly are at the moment. Dean Thomas saying, morning people, come on you Spurs. Good morning, Dean. I hope you're well, mate. And Barbaric saying, Ghosted, I hate doing it. It's not something I normally do, but I see him do it in every channel. It's early morning and we like sensible discussions. This is true. It's very chill on this channel. We don't do arguments. But it is what it is. Philly saying, big up Nigel and everyone in the magnificent chat this morning. Big up to you, Philly. I hope you're well. And Barbaric saying, good morning to Philly. And Charlie saying, good morning to Dean and Philly. And Rich says, what happened to the Tottenham Ranger, apart from his terrible opinions? Hopefully he'll be back in a minute. Probably spitting feathers, but he will be back in a minute. Tottenham Ranger, as long as you know, nothing to do with me, mate. It's my magnificent mods who you have annoyed. So Billy saying that there is much of a muchness between Vicario and his indecisiveness in his own box and Kinsky and his shot stopping. I would go for Mike Manigan from AC Milan. Yes, he's a very good goalkeeper. Um, I don't think we've seen enough of a sample size of Kinsky to say he's a bad shot stopper. I don't think we've seen enough. How many games he played? What, 5 or 6? Yes, there's been a couple of goals and you think, oh, should have done better there. But I don't think he's actually, that I can remember, like literally chucked any in. I might be wrong. There certainly has been a few times with his feet when he's overplayed a little bit, which he needs to sort out. But yeah, for me, not a big enough sample size yet, but I do like my main gun, is it, from AC Milan? Good keeper. Philly saying good morning to Barbaric. Wan saying, what do you think about the Ange tenure at Forest? Kind of feel for him since he's our ex-manager and went on to Europa glory, getting booed by his own fans and wanting to get sacked. But that's football nowadays. It really is, mate. You're absolutely bang on. It's football nowadays. I don't think when you go to a club that didn't sack their manager for footballing reasons, and a lot of the fans liked, and then you bring in a manager and he doesn't win in 7 games, which I think hasn't been done for over 100 years. I think you're going to get some stick from the fans. I think it's just natural. You're going to get some stick from the fans, and I just don't see where Ange gets wins from. He's taken over. I feel for him that he's taken over a side that play counter-attacking football, and he's an attacking manager. For me, though, he should have gone in and maybe carried on the Nuno way for a little bit just to get his feet under the table, get a few results. not just go in there fully and try and change everything straight away. Obviously, I'm not in the club. I don't know. Maybe he hasn't done that, but it certainly looks that way. And I don't think he's got the players to play the way he wants to play currently. So I think, listen, he's going to die on a sword again, isn't he? There's no doubt about that. He's going to die on a sword. He's not. He's not a good manager. I'm sorry. He's not. He will do well in your Scottish league. He will do well in your Japanese league. But the Premier League, top sides in Europe, top leagues in Europe, for me, I don't think he's good enough personally. But he did bring us a Europa League win. So for that, we are forever grateful to him. Rodney Martin saying Frank is the man. He absolutely is. Billy saying big up to Charlie. Charlie said Angel like a broken man yesterday. I'm surprised he wasn't sacked yesterday. I think he'd be gone today, son, or tomorrow. I think it's going to happen within the next couple of days for sure. And do I feel for him? A little bit, yeah. Do I think he's good enough? No. Do I feel for Nuno? Yes. I got a newfound love for Nuno Espirito Santo. You know, I think Spurs treated him badly. As a fan base, we never really wanted him. And I think he was treated awful at Forest. And for that reason, I want Forest to struggle. And also, for that reason, yeah, I hope West Ham do okay just because I like Nuno. Can't believe I just said I want West Ham to do okay. Crazy. Finn saying Kinsky might turn into a top class keeper in a few years, but both him and Vicario are only domestic cup bench level players. In any other top six side, we need top tier. I agree. I agree, but who? But who? This is the thing. It's there's good keepers out there, and I like Dean Henderson. You see, I like Dean Henderson. I think he's a good keeper, but is he that top level? Probably not. Um, So what do we do? Do we go for another unknown keeper? Because the problem is our top keeper is going to come to Spurs currently. Have we got the money? Apparently we have. Are we going to spend it? Will we pay the wages? Interesting one. And we need to be back in the Champions League at the end of this season. So we need a good season. So players like Vicario and Kinsky, when called upon, are going to have to turn up. But we definitely need a new keeper in the summer. And I will be going all out for the best one we could possibly get. Who that is? Listen, I'm not a keeper. I don't know. Bob saying, Charlie, we've seen that expression so many times. We have. It hurts, doesn't it? I know what every time we see Ange should sit down on the sideline, like looking at the floor, shaking his head. You kind of know, you feel it, don't you? You feel it. I'm feeling for Forest fans, but also deep inside, kind of laughing a little bit. And Charlie saying, I know. Chris Downs saying, Ange will need time. You can't sack a manager after 7 games. To a point, I agree. To a point, I agree. But this is Marinakis we're talking about. How long do you leave it, Chris? This is the thing. How long do you leave it? The Forest fans, and this isn't, listen, if all the Forest fans were just like, yeah, give him time. He's a decent manager. But when you're getting booed at home and you're getting chance of you getting sacked in the morning, and they're chanting for the old manager, I think it's just a matter of time. Listen, I hope he stays, and it would be nice if he turns it around. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Gem Tam saying, "Good day, Nige, mate. It's who we are, mate. It is who we are. Absolutely." Tottenham Logic TV, Alan is in the house and hello, mate. How you doing? Hit those likes, people. Absolutely hit those likes, people. If you haven't already, really would appreciate. We are slowly getting up towards 40 in the house. So smash those likes. Let's try and get to 50 likes. That is a massive thing. 50 likes. Haven't done it for quite a few streams now. So if we get to 50 likes on a Monday, that would be a great start to the week. Guys, and if you haven't, and you're in too, watching like before and afters. I have just started a new YouTube channel and it is called Nige versus the Oven. I am an oven cleaner by trade. So, well, trade by my job. So, if you want to see these before pictures when the ovens are minging and then during and then after, I will be doing videos of my job. So, get over there and subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it. Videos will be coming very soon. I just got to find back where I am. It was, of course, Tottenham Logic. Alan, yes, and I will be doing a video with Alan this week, and we will be putting it out. So, guys, if you haven't seen it, hopefully check in and watch it. Get over to Tottenham Logic TV and subscribe to his channel, doing sterling work over there. And while you're there, get over to the Two Marks Show and subscribe to their channel too. Cookie is saying, I think that if you're losing as many games as Ange, then you ain't looking good enough. Nearly 30 in just over a season. Say no more. Yeah, he's lost nearly 30 games in the last calendar. Crazy, crazy stats. He's clearly out of his depth. Billy said, I don't feel any sympathy for Ange as he is similar in his management style to Russell Martin. Bang on, mate, bang on. Who was sacked yesterday by Rangers. I never realised he was sacked yesterday. Not a surprise. He's not a top class manager either. Nuno overachieved at Forest last season. He did, but I like Nuno. I really like Nuno. And yeah, if Russell Martin can't do it in Scotland, sorry, for me, he's not going to do it anywhere. Ghost is saying, see, I think he is good enough to manage in Europe, just not the Premier League. The Premier League is the toughest league in the world. I don't care what people say. Yep, I agree with you there. Maybe he would do okay in Europe. I think Germany's very similar to the Premier League, so I don't think he'd do great in Germany. Um, I don't know. I just don't see where he would do well. But let's see. Alan saying, you want West Ham to do well, traitor. I just want them to stay up just because of Nuno. I do like Nuno. I do like Nuno. Bob Alex said, I agree, ghosted. And Wan said, Roofs from Sunderland looks decent, but I doubt Vicario will go for the time being. When he goes, Pope Henderson going to be great. Had Premier League experience. Yeah, I like Henderson. I'm not overly keen on Pope. Gotta say, I don't think he's good with his feet at all. I think he's worse than Vicario with his feet. Looks really clumsy on the ball. But again, big lad, decent shot stopper. But yeah. And Kate saying hello to Philly. Charlie saying that's why my dad hates air fryers. Absolutely. They are the bane of my life. They are destroying my business. So kill all air fryers, guys. Don't buy them. Ghost is saying, Unai Simon, yeah, I like him. Mangan, Ten Staggen. There are keepers out there. Yeah, all good keepers. I'll take all of those three. Will we get them? I don't know. Cookie saying, I've subscribed to the Oven channel, Nige. Any are memberships and super chats available? They're not on the Oven thing, no, because I have now 4 subscribers by the sound of it. But they absolutely are on here. Super chats and memberships are available on here. But guys, all I really want to do is smash that like and hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Barbaric saying, Nige, would you mind giving a new channel name again, please? It is Nige versus the Oven. Get over there and subscribe. Videos will be coming. It's sparse at the moment, but they will be coming. Ghost is saying Ange lost 34 games out of 76 Premier League games. Not cut out for this level. I agree. He's just not the man, is he? He isn't the man at all. And Finn saying, Ange sitting in his favourite position. He loves that 17th spot, doesn't he? He's made it his own. He's made it his own, Finn. And fair play to him for that. Charlie said, Ange getting Forest relegated for the love of the game. I think it's maybe he's doing it for all us Spurs fans just because we didn't get Morgan Gibbs White. And Barbaric said, it's okay, I got it. Get over to the sub to Nige new channel, please, guys and girls. Nige versus the Oven. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Yeah, I'm really pleased with the way things are going at Spurs at the moment. You know, I cannot complain at all. I think Tottenham are playing some good football. Some good football. It's not brilliant, don't get me wrong, you know, but I think there are things starting to happen now. You're seeing. I loved Xavi Simons in the 10. Let's talk about that. I loved Xavi Simons in the 10. I think he faded second half, but some of the things he did, um, in that game. We are seeing little bits from Xavi Simons that tells me he is going to be a big favourite at Tottenham. Some of the balls he put in, some of the passes, some of the way he turns on the ball, give him that little bit of space, and he is fantastic. Yes, that Rabona that he did that nearly cost us a goal. He needs to stop that. But if it works, it's amazing, right? If he gets that right, everyone's like creaming themselves about how good Xavi Simons is. He got it wrong. We nearly conceded. Hopefully he learns from it, not to do it in those kind of positions. But loving Xavi Simons at the moment. Big Bad Rom's in the house saying good morning to you, mate. And he says that without Vicario, we lost against Leeds. He did pull off a couple of good late saves. Yeah, he's just a concern for me, Rom. Just a concern. I think he could have maybe done better for the goal. The way he come out and got nowhere near the ball when Roden headed against the post or bar, I thought that was a concern. For me, he doesn't fill me with confidence. For me, I think we need a new keeper. But I get it. He did pull off a couple of late saves, which kept us in front. I think if it wasn't for Vicario, we might have drew the game. I don't think we would have lost. Tucky said, "Any news on Mawani? Anyone? You would expect him to be back after the international break, wouldn't you? It's 2 weeks now, 2 weeks before the Villa game. You would expect Mawani to be back in the squad for that game. If he's not, I'm going to be asking serious questions. And the fact that we are already talking, apparently, to Ivan Toney, this Mawani thing's a bit weird. It wouldn't surprise me if we got Toney in January. We send Mawani back. It's all a bit weird. Let's see if he's fit in a couple of weeks. Barbaric said, Cookie, it's all a bit vague. Something doesn't feel right about Mawani. Hopefully we see him on the pitch very soon. Absolutely. A thumbs up to Barbaric. Charlie said he's had no pre-season. He's just not fit. Pain in the ass, honestly. It was just a desperate signing, wasn't it? One of those signs, just desperation. We need somebody, and let's get him. Didn't really think it through at all. Rom saying, I hope Madison comes back soon. Yeah, me too, mate. Madison's still probably my favourite Spurs player. I love Madison. And just to get him back, him and Kulu back as well. Kulu is expected apparently to be back before Christmas. So maybe he might be back soon. I haven't seen him on the training pitch yet. Let's see what happens. Maybe like early December. That would be a good time for Kulu to come back. I am guessing there, by the way. But imagine when we have Madison, Kulu, Simmons, Kudus, hopefully another left winger, all fit. Suddenly our team going forward looks so much different. I'm here for it and I'm excited for it. I think Madison will come back just as good. I'm going to stick my neck on the line and say that when he does come back, he will be the player that we hope he is. I know a lot of people saying about the injury, probably won't come back the same player his age. I don't think he's that old. He's not even 30 yet, is he? So I think there's every chance he comes back. Let's hope, and comes back a really good player. Barbaric saying Madison won't be back this season. Probably not. And Charlie saying Madison isn't back until March next year, I believe, Rom. Yeah, I think we might see him 1 or 2 games before the end of the season, but I don't really think we see him before that. And Charlie said, "Oh, I thought it was March." Yeah, I don't. Who knows? Who knows? Rom saying Kulu and Kudos. Now there's a potential fan song in the making. There is. There is. I will let I'll let them sort that out. Cookie said only Spurs could employ a 95 million euro injury prone superstar. It's what we do. It's what we do. Philly saying big up to Kate. And to Darn Soulful, big up, mate. I hope you're well. You're new here, haven't seen you before. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button. Hit the like button too. To Darn Soulful said both keepers are not good enough. If we want to mix it with the big boys, stop defending very average players, boys. And this is the thing. We have got a lot of average players that we need to move on. I feel like we've replaced a lot of the deadwood over the last couple of years with more deadwood. Um, so we certainly need to improve our recruitment. I'm kind of with you there so far. I think we have too many average players that need to be moved on. And I definitely put Vicario in that. Again, haven't seen enough of Kinsky to say either way yet. Um, I think Kinsky could be a really good keeper. But let's see. Let's see what happens. Rich Shee says Moani looked like he'd had a summer of eating pies. I don't think he's been doing intensive fitness behind the scenes. I agree. I don't think he has either, mate. I think he's been waiting for that move to Juve and it hasn't gone through, and he's been left woefully unfit. Big Bad Rom said a dead leg, and he's out for 6 months. Isn't it just Spurs? We haven't even seen Takai either yet, have we? Isn't he back in training? So we might see him soon. Another player we've signed and has been injured from the get-go. So fantastic, fantastic recruitment from the Tottenham Hotspur team. And think of the money they're on to do that. Crazy. Shen Tam said Miami as RB back. We can rebuild him. Watch out for his new bionic leg. Absolutely. Guy Thompson says, hey, Nige, I'm seeing England versus Wales this week. Fair dues versus Wales. Yeah, they're playing Wales. I'm taking that's what you meant. Nice, nice. Where is it? Is that at Wembley? I'm not out with international football tour. I don't even know where Spurs are playing. I don't know whether it's at Wembley, whether it's at Old Trafford, where England are playing now. Rom is saying the longest dead leg in history. It is. Jantam saying Mawani. Yep, that's who you meant. Yeah, he might come back with a bionic leg. Who knows? Who knows? Barbaric saying Marmaric didn't want to be here. There was an obligation to buy from Bayern. Um, he asked to have that removed to come to Spurs. Really? Didn't know that. Didn't know that. Ghost is saying, can you imagine if we had them in the team now? I know, absolute fire. We would, but we'd be a lot better, wouldn't we? I think there's good things happening at Spurs, guys. You know, last season, my first season and my first year on YouTube, and it was the most negative year I've ever felt. You know, every single week I was coming on here complaining about the players, complaining about the manager, complaining about the fans, complaining about absolutely everything. Levy, Lau, everything. This season, no, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. I'm going to be as positive as I can be, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I think Spurs are looking good. We're on the march. We are on the march. Kate sending Philly a hug. Philly said Mawani was a panic buy of desperation. Agreed, mate. Spurs need to accept they are going to take a massive loss to finally get rid of the Pigeon and Solanke. Agreed. I don't think we get 60 million for both of them together, let alone one each. I think if we get 30 million for Solanke, I think that's a great deal. I think if we get 20 for the Pigeon, I think that's a great deal. Take the money, run. I think both need to be sold in the summer, and we need to be looking at top class strikers. We've had so many great strikers over the years, and we are left with now rank average Premier League, just rubbish. Let's be honest. And there was me just literally 2 minutes ago saying I was going to be positive, and then Philly had to bring up the Pigeon and Solanke. So I blame Philly. Tottenham Logic saying Frank doesn't like dickheads. Maybe Colin Moani is causing issues. Maybe again, that's pretty poor recruitment if true. I mean, I would have rather just go without if he is a dickhead. But obviously, we don't know. We don't know. Rom said Madison will need to play in a suit of armor from now on. He will. This is a concern, isn't it, with Madison? He does get injured quite easy. As Philly sending Kate a hug back. And Kate said, rumour of Spurs looking at Real Madrid keeper, but which one? I don't know. I don't know that either. I have to look into that. Dean saying average is very generous for Richie. It is. He is. Oh, bless him. I want to say bless him. He's bloody crap, isn't he? Richarlison, like really bad. Scored those couple of good goals against Burnley. Well, I say a couple of good goals, two really good finishes, and is back to being Richarlison. Absolutely useless. Um, but he's all we got. He's all we got, apart from Tau. And now Tau's come in, scored a goal, hit the bar. Does Tau start against Villa, guys? Does Tau start against Villa? I think there's a good chance he does. You know, Kate saying, Tony, how much are his wages? His wages are a bloody fortune, mate, an absolute fortune. So will we get him in? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. his wages will be a problem. But it's how much Tony, does Tony want to play Premier League football again, or is he happy just taking the millions that he takes every week at Saudi? I don't know. I don't know. Rom saying I forgot about that guy, and Guy saying Wembley in it. Wales, laugh out loud. Sorry on the phone. Yeah, I know. I got what you mean. Um, but okay, no Wembley. That'd be a decent game. That'd be a decent game. Hopefully Johnson again. Ole ole gets a couple of goals just to remind the Spurs fans that he can find a net. There was a couple of balls that were put across the box on Saturday that if a Brennan Johnson was there, it was a goal. But that's the price you pay, isn't it? Like I said, a couple of balls across the box where Kudus didn't get in there. Johnson 100% would have and probably scored at least one of them. But then Kudus brings that bit of magic, that bit of flair, holds the ball up and scored that wonderful second goal to win us the game anyway. Ben saying, I think Frank said before the game that Takai has been back in training for about 10 days. Maybe we will see what he's all about soon. Yet we haven't even seen him play, have we? We don't know what he's like. Is he decent? Is he not? Just don't know. Haven't seen enough of him. Um, Chucky saying Tony's on 400k a week, and imagine that. I'd just work for a week and then I retire. That'd be it. I'm happy. I'm done. Maybe 2 weeks. And this is the thing, innit? If you're on that much money, you would get greedy. You would be like, let's see how many times, let's see how many weeks I can work out. Um, yeah, maybe I'd work for a month and then retire. Then I got my cool million, and oh, that would be lush. But then my family would want money, so I might have to do a year now. Might have to do a year now. It'd be hard, wouldn't it? But I think I can manage it. Um, Barbaric saying he's cheap and Cookie, yeah, terribly cheap. Friendly said the truth is never negative, Nige, my friend. It is what it is. I agree. I agree. Um, absolutely. Barbaric said, I want Ange to get at least the January window. Hopefully he takes Johnson back to Forest. Yes. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to get a couple of Spurs players. Maybe maybe we could do a swap deal with Basuma for Elliot Anderson. I'd be quite up for that. I'd love Anderson. I think he's a top player. Didn't have the best of games yesterday, but I think he's a top player. But Barrick said, hopefully Sheriff doesn't see me saying that. I think you're safe for now. I don't think Sheriff is here. Rom saying Richarlison plays like he's on the pitch made of Lego. He does. He's bloody awful. Absolutely awful. Dean saying Tell has to start before Richie. Surely against Villa. I agree 100%. Tell has to start the next game. Has to start next game. We can save Richarlison for the Champions League. Wow, that's how far we've come. That we're saving Richarlison for the Champions League. Richarlison looks like he's on the old TV show. It's a Knockout. Wow, you're going back there, mate. It's a Knockout. What great TV that was. Absolutely loved it. Who was the commentator? Who just anyone who used to watch It's a Knockout? Who would just obviously commentate on it, and his laugh was infectious. Yeah, I used to love that when it used to be on. They used to do it all over Europe, didn't they? And wear stupid heads and stupid costumes. Absolutely brilliant. Custard pies and water slides. Brilliant. Brilliant. Kate said, I seriously think we need to get this scouting team out. Lange is not good enough. I agree. Finn saying, if I earned 400k a week, I'd be eating king pot noodles every day. None of this normal size business. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Philly saying, I was hoping Ange might take the pigeon, Bob. I mean, that would be nice, wouldn't it? If Ange took the pigeon. And yeah, Philly saying, Kate, 100%. I'm on the Lange out train. I'm absolutely on the Lange out train as well. I think he is absolutely awful. He needs to go. We need to bring in someone who knows their football and can bring in players that actually are going to improve us. Guys, I am going to leave it there. I've been going for nearly an hour and I have got to get to work. But thank you for each and every one of you for joining me this morning. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Like I say, every time the show is nothing without you. It's all about you guys. On your way out, if you haven't smashed that like button, please smash that like button. It is so important. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I am chasing down 1300. It is a slow process. Loving every minute of it, guys, and it's all because of you. Have a great day. Have a great Monday. Stay safe. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.